After Pretty Woman, director Garry Marshall reunites stars Richard Gere and Julia Roberts, along with Hector Elizondo, Larry Miller, Patrick Richwood, and Gary's children, Scott and Kathleen, for another romantic comedy called Runaway Bride.
It is not Pretty Woman 2, but it really is just teaming up with you again, Garry Marshall as well. Are you happy with it?
Well, I haven't seen it, but we sure had a lot of fun making it.
Was it like the old days, or?
Well, no, because we're not being 20 and being 30. It's fast. I'm a different person now, and it was nice because we had some of the same cast that we had. Pretty Woman came in and did things for us.
Was there the same chemistry there?
Yes, same but different. You know, we were all different. She was now an established star, and the chemistry between them was different, you know.
With Julia Roberts and Richard Gere now bona fide Hollywood heavyweights, on July 30th, 1999, Runaway Bride gets the big celebrity red carpet premiere that Pretty Woman never had.
Is it very different from Pretty Woman, or is it
Runaway Bride is very different. Yet they're there, and they're before, and it's very romantic. Runaway Bride. It's just that Pretty Woman didn't have a wedding. We made up their wedding.
That was terrific to come back like that. It was quite emotional at some time, especially at the beginning. Here we are again. Here we are again.
On Runaway Bride, it was more just a bunch of laughs. Frankly, it was really more like that we're now just having fun.
It was like time had stopped still. The shorthand that we developed during Pretty Woman still existed.
It was fun. It was fun to share memories and be back together again.
The film even includes a nod to Pretty Woman.
One of the things that Garry does is we like to do a lot of montages on the movies. So like in Pretty Woman, when we shot the polo scene at the equestrian center, we did a piece for the love montage of Richard and Julia riding horseback. It didn't make it into the love montage. So then when we shot Runaway Bride, we did a love montage and we had them riding horses again, similar to what we did in Pretty Woman. And that made it into Runaway Bride.
As the years go by, Pretty Woman continues to be beloved by audiences around the globe. And Marshall sees this as an opportunity to fulfill a lifelong goal.
His real dream was to be on Broadway because he grew up in the Bronx, going to Broadway shows, live theater, never conquered Broadway. Conquered sitcom, conquered movies. The movie struck such a chord, he thought he could translate that to Broadway.
He thought that Pretty Woman was a good piece to do that with and bring it back to the Broadway stage. Edward and Vivian are so beloved that people wanted to see them again.
Marshall reunites with the original screenwriter Jonathan Lawton, and production begins. But in July 2016, there's devastating news.
Tonight, Hollywood is mourning the loss of a legend behind some of the biggest hits on screens, big and small. Garry Marshall made us laugh and cry for decades as a producer, director, writer, and actor. He passed away of complications from pneumonia after having a stroke.
The loss of Garry Marshall is much bigger than just your personal feelings toward him. Losing him was almost more than the loss of an individual that you held in the highest esteem. It was sad. It was really deeply sad.
I was completely devastated. It was awful. What it's done to the industry, there is nobody like Garry. He was a one-of-a-kind person.
I had a very, very close relationship with Garry. We did, 11 films together. He made so many people laugh over the years and so many people happy. And Garry was so full of life. He had an amazing way about him, and it's just hard to believe that he's not here anymore.
The moment you heard he passed, tell me about that.
I can't go there.
Still hard.
Yep. I miss him very much.
With Marshall gone, those working on the Broadway version remain committed to seeing it through.
Getting something to the stage is always challenging. How do you take something that has many different locations? You go from Hollywood Boulevard to Rodeo Drive, you go to the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, you go to the Opera. How do you put all of this together in one location, a stage?
Singer Bryan Adams and his partner Jim Valance sign on to do the music.
I think Bryan Adams was obviously the perfect choice. His music lived in an era that that movie was created, and he really knows his phrasing and style, and he writes big romantic power ballads.
Samantha Barks and Andy Carl are cast as Vivian and Edward, and New York native Orphe earns the role of Kit.
I think we had a certain similarity as far as, the body language, and, we talk like this, and we're both kind of, streety, kind of, urban chicks, I think both Italian, that helps,
On August 16, 2018, the show opens at the Nederlander Theater in New York City.
I think Garry Marshall would have been thrilled. And the theater, we set aside a chair, the Garry Marshall chair, for Garry. And I know he would have been absolutely mesmerized by seeing this come to life in such a beautiful way.
Oh, God, he would have been, this is fantastic, you're all fantastic. That's what I could hear him saying it.
We had to keep things that the audience loved. You had to have your favorite lines, your favorite moments.
We had the ultimate Kit line in there, Cinderella. I did leap for you. You had to have big mistake, big huge. That's not my line, but take care of you. We said that a lot. Again, couldn't do it without that line.
What's similar is a lot of the beauty